Pellegrino, Mr. Pompey, members of the Board of Directors, faculty, administration, honored guests, and fellow students. Good evening. I think we can all agree our high school journey ended a bit more abruptly than we wished and expected. I speak for my fellow graduates when I say thank you. Thank you, for even through these difficult times, you figured out a way to give us a graduation ceremony and an experience we will never forget. Throughout our 4 years at Holy Cross, there were several phrases repeated to teach us, such as, you were made in the image and likeness of God, or God is love. But there was one phrase repeated to me by every single faculty member in the school: be the best version of yourself. I learned that the best version of yourself isn't classified by how many friends you have or how good you are at sports, but by showing others how much you care about them. Holy Cross allowed me to develop one of the most important virtues: patience. It is so much easier to just lash out when something goes wrong, but it never solves the problem. Patience allows us to keep an open mind and listen to others. Although it might be easier to make friends with outgoing classmates with the same interests and opinions, sometimes taking the time to get to know the shy kid in the back of the room could turn out a great way to meet your new best friend. In life, patience is key to life, and it is important to remember that even though life may be tough at the moment, your opportunity will come. You just need to wait. By teaching me patience, Holy Cross has taught me how to be a leader. In middle school, if I were to be in charge of a group project, I would make the plan myself and would have the group follow the plan according to my own imagination. At Holy Cross leadership conferences, I learned that even though my plan may be a good plan, listening to others' ideas can make it a great one. I learned that it is important for everyone to feel included and their opinions valued. Besides making me a better leader, patience has allowed me to be a better friend. We come into high school nervous, wanting to make a good first impression, so we just agree to what everyone else says to get them to like us and to make friends. But soon, we realize it's harder to go with the flow than we think. Holy Cross showed me how important it is to speak up and not to be afraid of who I really am, because you can't be comfortable with others if you're not comfortable with yourself. And once you are, you find the best friends you could ask for. They like you for who you are. Although I've always considered myself a very outgoing individual, I did not realize how large an influence teachers and peers would have on me. Holy Cross taught me a new definition of family. As a freshman, in class I wouldn't speak up. I'd listen to the teacher, ask a question after class in case it was dumb and could get laughed at, then go home. But soon enough, I felt accepted by my teachers, which allowed me to feel comfortable to come to them about anything, even during class. By my senior year, I may have become one of those people often described as outspoken. I can't count how many times Mr. Mulhern told me he can hear me from down the hall. Speaking of Mr. Mulhern, I think it's safe to say that he has given us one of the best experiences we could ask for. I mean, what other school allows our teacher to get taped on the wall in the gym room, right? Let alone have him volunteer to be taped on the wall. The student body really outdid themselves when I saw his green pencil also taped to the floor, taped to the wall next to his face. Even though, I will say, class of 2020 really rocked those spirit assemblies, didn't we? Even though we are the smallest class in Holy Cross history, our school spirit overcame the label of size, and we won at least the past two. We could always count on John Savage shoving a donut into his mouth without his hands, or Jack Filano racing Mr. Shea in high heels, diving to the finish line just to win. And although all of those were fantastic, nothing, and I mean nothing, will beat Alex's dance battles. They have been a highlight to my school year since 6th grade, busting every move he has. And yes, he did always win, especially when he went up against Mr. Piatic, who was pulling dances from Fortnite. Just in case any of you teachers or parents don't know, it's what your kids were doing instead of their homework. Regardless, Spirit Assemblies and Founders Week are by far the most amazing memories of Holy Cross, including theming our junior hallway after the office with all our names written on Dwight snowmen. And we can't forget that lip dub 2 years ago. There were sumo wrestlers, students on skateboards, and outfits from various decades dancing to different music styles. Organized chaos would be the best term to explain it. Unfortunately, high school isn't always fun and games. It's a growth stage of our lives where we learn something no one thought we'd learn 4 years ago: maturity. No matter how much we try, it is nearly impossible to escape drama during high school. It's not about the problems we face, but how we handle them, and Holy Cross has taught me how to handle stressful situations. For example, freshman year I became overwhelmed. I took more honors classes than I had ever before. My college search felt pressured, and when playing softball, I felt I needed to be perfect, and I needed to be perfect right now. I was trying to get into the school of my dreams, and I convinced myself that it doesn't matter if I play in college or not, because I'll be too busy with schoolwork and trying to pass. With complications playing outside of school, and the will to go pitch in my driveway into a net flaking away every day, I thought hanging my jersey junior year was the best idea. But the season came around, and I started to remember what it felt like to be in love with the sport again. I loved going to practice with the girls, no matter how much running Coach Meg made us do. Holy Cross taught me that instead of quitting, I could patiently ride out the anxiety and focus on being my best self. And although the journey was tough, I am now committed to attend college and play softball at King's College in Pennsylvania. Another virtue that Holy Cross has taught me is kindness and how to spread it. Kindness has always had a large impact on who I am, but my experience at Holy Cross made me realize what a phrase, "a little goes a long way," really means. I learned you can't judge someone based on their appearance or how they handle things. And when we do hear about someone going through a tough time, we don't necessarily need to bring it up to them. Just saying hi to them as you walk by them in the hallway really changes their day. I learned my voice has power. Speaking up for someone when they don't have the courage to speak up for themselves can give them that courage to speak up for themselves and for others who might need their support. When we see a teammate having a rough practice, we tell them we got this and make sure they know we're rooting for them. When we see someone struggling in class, we offer to help. And if we care about someone, we don't need to shower them with gifts and flattery, but simply tell them we're there for them and mean it. Lastly, in the past 4 years, I learned that high school does go by in the blink of an eye. I remember hating to wake up at 6 a.m. and having to get to school on time, then looking forward to that last bell sounding my freedom. Now, I'll never hear it ring. If the next classes need to know anything about their my experience here, it's to take every moment in and appreciate the opportunity. Holy Cross truly is the best high school to go to. It's not just a school, it's a community. Because of the relationships we build here, we want to come back, and we see graduates from years past returning to visit all the time. I want Holy Cross to be for others what it is for me, a second family. The friendships we make here are lifelong, not just with peers, but with teachers as well. We become so close that we want to stay after school with them in their office for hours a day, send them a pun every day during quarantine just to get their rating, and even buy bright pink shoes for them because of an inside joke during class. If I were to advise the students of the future, I would tell them, take every bit of Holy Cross in. Go to the math labs after school, join a new club, play a new sport. Go to the whiteout football games, the bonfires, Halloween happenings, snowball, and homecoming dances. Go to everything you can. And when you step onto that field or court, play with every beat in your heart, every ounce of energy you have. You never know when it'll be the last time playing with green and gold. But most of all, be patient. Don't rush your 4 years here. You'll want them back when it's all over. And when it is, you'll miss it. Thank you, Holy Cross, for the amazing past 4 years, and for teaching us to strive to be the best versions of ourselves.